called you Moby first time?
The story that I know is that when I was born, I was given the name Richard Melville Hall, but my parents looked at me and thought that was too big of a name for a little baby, so my father started calling me Moby. I've just been called Moby ever since. So I guess it was my father.
It hasn't got anything to do with the book Moby Dick from Melville.
I'm related to Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick. At least that's what my parents told me. Maybe they were lying to me. I don't know. But yeah, as far as I know, I'm related to Herman Melville, which is where I got my full name, like Richard Dick Melville, Herman Melville, and the nickname Moby. It all comes from that relation.
I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to lie. So this is goodbye.
When was the first time you actually thought, perhaps I should do something with music?
Probably when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I started playing guitar when I was very young, when I was 8 or 9 years old. So I think I first thought about making music, 27 years ago, when I was 8 years old.
You didn't have any other jobs before you immediately could live from making music?
I've had some terrible jobs. I had a job where I was working in an office stuffing envelopes, just taking pieces of paper, folding them, putting them in an envelope. That in a room with no windows and no air conditioning, that's an awful job. I washed dishes for a while, which is also really terrible. You know, like you get burned all the time and you go home and you just smell like garbage, And I worked in the shopping mall, I cut grass, I was a caddy, I carried golf clubs. I've done nasty jobs, but for the last 10 years I've been lucky. I've just been able to make my living as a musician.
That's not hard at all.
I've always lived really simply. I mean, if you have a lifestyle like Puff Daddy, it's hard to make your living as a musician because he has his 20 Rolls Royces and his houses all over the place and personal assistants and butlers and all this, and that's expensive, But me, it's like a T-shirt that I bought at a truck stop for $3. It's like my quality of life is pretty low, so it's easy to maintain that.
What are your influences?
My influences they're just so many. Everything from classical music to punk rock to disco to funk to hip hop to jazz.
Perhaps when you were, let's say, 16 years old, that's an age where you're very influenced by all kinds of groups.
When I was 16, I listened to a lot of classical music and punk rock and jazz and disco. I mean, I've always liked so many different types of music.
Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, my trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Play has become a very successful album. Did you expect something like that?
No, I mean, I make my records in my bedroom, and I never expect anything I do to be successful. So when I put out Play, I thought maybe a few people might like it, but I didn't expect it to be critically successful. I didn't expect it to be commercially successful, and now I found out we just sold 5 million copies worldwide, and it's gone platinum in 17 different countries. So, I mean, it's so strange because it's a little record that I made in my bedroom.
Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Ooh, Lordy, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
What could be the secret?
I think if I had to figure out why it was successful, maybe it's because it's emotional, and it's a very eclectic body of work. You know, it's complicated, whereas you know most albums you buy, every song sounds exactly the same. And on Play, there's a lot of diversity, and the songs are very emotional, so maybe that's why it's
Play is some kind of mixture of all the styles you did before. It's is that the Moby style now? Is that the style where you can find peace with, or could the next record be something completely else?
I don't know. I'm not really too interested in what style of music I'm working in or what genre of music. What I'm really interested in is just making nice music. You know, my goal is to make records that I love, that other people might love as well. And it just doesn't matter to me what type of record it is or what style or what genre it's in.
Why does my heart feel so bad? Why does my soul feel so bad?
Play sounds very sad sometimes. Were you very unhappy in those days?
No, it's funny, when I'm working on music, I'll work on a song like Why Does My Heart Feel So Bad? That song, I must have worked on it for 6 months. You know, so sometimes I would work on it and I'd be very happy, sometimes I'd be sad, sometimes I'd be neutral. So just because I make a really sad song doesn't mean that I was depressed when I was making it. It just means that I love sad music.
Why does my soul
It's in your bedroom during 12 months, something like that. All by yourself. Why? Are you a control freak?
Well, I like making records by myself because that way I can work anytime and I can work as much as I want and I can be selfish. So if I want to write hip-hop or rock or dance music or country western or jazz or classical, there's no one around saying that I can't do that. And when I have other people around, I get nervous. You know, like if I'm working in my studio and there are other people there, I feel self-conscious, where if I'm just by myself, I can work and feel very comfortable.
You need a very easy atmosphere to work.
I'm much more comfortable by myself. You know, like when I try and work in outside studios, I become so self-conscious. And also working at home is a lot cheaper. You know, I have my studio there and it doesn't cost me anything to work there, whereas if I go to outside studios, you have to, you know, pay thousands of dollars a day just to rent the studio. We're making 2 videos right now, one for Find My Baby, the song Find My Baby, and I had this great idea but we can't do it. The idea was to have a pop band made up of a little puppy, a baby monkey, and a little human baby, and they would be the pop band, and so they would like go to the photo shoots and they would be in the back of the limo. But apparently you can't have dogs and monkeys and babies together because they might attack each other. So I think it's going to be a pop group with 3 little babies.
Last year, so you met a lot of celebrities. How did they react on your album, and is it important to you as well?
Well, we live in a culture that's very much driven by, you know, or concerned with celebrities for whatever reason. So sure, it's exciting. You know, if I'm out at a party and Puff Daddy comes up to me and tells me he loves my record, yeah, that's kind of exciting. It's not that important. I mean, I'd rather have, you know, 10 kids at a concert tell me they love my record than one celebrity tell me that they love the record. But still, it is, you know, it's kind of exciting. You know, you meet Madonna, you meet Gwyneth Paltrow, and they're fans. Of course, it's very flattering.
Can my honey come back? Sometime I wanna rap like that. Sometime I get a hump in my back. Sometime
done a version of the song Honey with Khalees singing on it, and it came out really, really nice, I think. I mean, she's a really good singer. I mean, she's a pretty good rapper, but as a singer, she's just got this beautiful voice. So we did this sort of like dirty hip-hop R&B mix of Honey with her singing on it. It came out, I think it's really nice.
Sometime I'm on a rap like that. Sometime you get a hump in my back. Sometime I'm going over here. Sometime.
You must absolutely tell us more about that knob touch game you always play.
Knob touch, I've actually never played it. It's something. I was doing an interview with Q magazine, this music magazine in England, and I talked to the journalist for like hours and hours and hours, and we had a very serious conversation. And towards the end, he started asking me these really silly questions. You know, like, what celebrities have you slept with? What's the strangest place you've ever had sex? He was asking me really stupid questions, so I gave him really stupid answers. And so I sort of made up this story. Some friends of mine, when they were at university, used to like get drunk and go to parties and take their penises out and touch them against people. And I thought that was funny. So I made up this story about me doing it. But the truth is I've never done it.
Let's try it. Sounds very exciting and
Dangerous. Having your penis out in a crowded party with like cigarettes and glasses and everything. Yeah.
thank you, Moby.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks.
This is the Music Factory.